If you're tired of having to pay for your AP5 monthly subscription plus the usage of the different actors that you may be using, today we're going to start a series of videos where we're going to take a look at different scrapers that will be completely free, self-hostable, and will not require any paid API key, okay? Today we're going to take a look at the YouTube scraper that we have built, okay? And first we're going to see a quick demo on how it works, and then we're going to hop on to the whole installation process and how to customize the parameters and so on. So the YouTube scraper currently allows to scrape search pages and also the page of a given channel, okay? In this case, just to show you how it works, I'm going to unlink both of them, and I'm just going to take an example here that it's preset of the configuration. Later, we're going to see how to customize all this. So basically, we just run it and it's going to build the query itself and going to start running the YouTube scraper, okay? In this case, it's going to take some time, so I'll get back once it's finished. Okay, so it has finished. Basically, you can see here the different results of the scraping. You can see here some comments, the likes, the search query that we have used, the thumbnail, okay, that's the link of the image. So yeah, this is the thumbnail, the publish date, the channel URL, the channel name, and also the title of the video and the URL of the video, okay? In this case, I have just taken 2 results, but you can take as much as you want. I just set it to 2 so that for the tutorial it's quicker, okay? And then with the results, we generate a CSV and send it via Telegram, but you can modify this. This is not like a template that it's meant to use in production. It's just for you to be able to come here and copy paste it to another workflow, okay? Or you can use the template but modify this part, and I don't know, if you want to upload the YouTube scraping report.csv to a Google Drive folder, you can do it. Okay, so starting with the installation process, I just wanted to say that we're going to use Crawly as the framework to crawl. Basically, it's built by AP5. That's why I used it. I know there are other crawlers that maybe are somewhat easier to use, but I wanted to do the real thing and do an AP open source alternative. So yeah, just go down below at the description to download the zip file that is available. And these are the files that you'll have to upload to the preferably Linux server where you have your instance installed, okay? You can also try to use it in a Windows PC or a MacBook laptop or Mac PC, but I would recommend you to use a Linux server, okay? So basically, I'll be creating a folder inside OPT, but you can create it wherever you want. Okay, so once you have uploaded the files, you can use just an SFTP client, okay? And then I would advise you to open the README with VS Code and then use an extension to preview Markdown. That in my case, I've just written down Markdown, and you can use this one if you want, but there are plenty of them. And we're going to follow the installation process here, okay? So first of all, you'll need to have Node.js and NPM installed. These are the instructions for Windows, Mac OS, and Linux. If you have installed N8N without using Docker, you have surely used NPM, so you'll already have installed. Maybe you'll have to install Node.js too. Then you have to install Python and pip. You have the instructions here, so just copy paste these commands to the SSH. And also we're going to install YTDLP. This is basically a library that the scraper uses to get subtitles of the videos. Okay, basically that it's just a dependency. Install it like this and it's going to be good. Okay, actually be careful, because if you want to install it on Linux, just execute this command here or this one, but do not use this one because this is just for Mac OS, and for Windows you'll have to download it directly from here. Okay, the other thing that I'm going to do now, because I haven't done, is installing the dependencies of npm, Crawly, and Playwright, okay, for the project. So just copy here. If you prefer, you can also use yarn, but I'm going to use npm install and all this. So just head to the folder that you have uploaded the the scrapers and so on. With CD is basically to enter a folder, and in my case I'm going to opt/test YT scraper. This is the one that I have created to upload the scraper. Enter, and you're going to be inside there. If you write ls-l, you're going to be able to see the files that you have uploaded, okay? And then you have to paste the npm install crawly playwright. Just hit enter and the installation process is going to start. It's going to take around 2 minutes, 1 minute, something like that. So I'm going to get back whenever the process has finished. Okay, so it has finished. Actually, it took 30 seconds and it's going to be it. Okay, you do not have to touch SSH for anything else in this tutorial. Now you'll have to import into N8N the template that it's inside the zip file that you have downloaded, okay? If you do not know how to do it, just create a new workflow, go here to these 3 dots, click import from file, and just go to N8N workflow and select the YouTube scrapping.json, and you'll have the template imported, okay? First of all, go to run YT scraper node and modify the working directory. In this case, I'm going to set the directory that I've used and just save. Then you'll need to set up the chat ID if you want to send the report via Telegram, and you're going to be almost ready. Then you'll have to decide whether you want to scrape search pages or channel pages. If you want to scrape search pages, you could just go here and customize the configuration. You can just copy all these and drop it into Claude. You could specify like, please explain what I'm able to do, and it's going to explain all these parameters, but we're going to take a look at this, okay? And for channel parameters, it's exactly the same, but the configuration it's slightly different, okay? But if you want to just go straight and test the scraper, you can use one of the examples or the config presets that I've added to the template. So for example, just imagine that I want to do a deep engagement analysis. I'm just going to drag this here, disconnect both of these, and place this thing here and just connect all this stuff. You can see here that this is scraping a search page. The query that's going to search in YouTube, it's React hooks tutorial. Max results are, in this case, 8. It's just that it's going to scrape 8 videos, okay? Then max comments, the maximum amount of comments per video that it's going to scrape. Include subtitles, whether you want the file to include subtitles of the video or not. Then the max subtitle words, the length of the transcription that it's going to scrape, because you may be tempted to set it like a large number, but in the end it's not going to show the whole transcript, okay? So that's why we've added this parameter. I would recommend, if you do not need the whole content of the video, you could just set it up to 200 words. By default, if you remove this parameter, it's going to extract 500 words, okay? Just keep that in mind. Actually, it's mentioned in the README. If you scroll down, you're going to see here for search scraper, max subtitle words, maximum words per subtitle, default 500. And if you want to set it to unlimited, you can just set it to 0, but as I've said, I would not do that. Keep in mind that, as I've seen, N8N just shows 65,500 characters. Correct. Keeping in mind that, do whatever you want. And then these are other parameters that are more technical, okay? And yeah, you do not have to modify anything else. Maybe you can just modify this if you want the report to be uploaded to a Google Drive folder. But yeah, I'm just going to talk about everything else, how it works, so that you can see everything. But you could leave the video here and just do all stuff, okay? So you do not have to really modify anything else here. Maybe if you want to modify this part, instead of sending the report via Telegram to you, maybe you want to upload the report to a Google Drive folder. But yeah, I'm just going to show you the rest of the automation, but you'll see that it's pretty simple. So basically, Query Builder, it's code that basically takes this configuration and builds a query that will be executed in this node that it's basically SSH node. Then we're just going to parse the output so that we get the JSON object itself instead of a string that it's outputting this node. And then we're just splitting the whole JSON object into different JSON objects and then generated the CSV and sending it via Telegram. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Let's see you on the next one.